Hey everybody, Isaac with the KC Brick Store here. You may have seen, if you've seen my social media posts or anything, you may have known that I've kind of been on a quest over the last year or so to work on recreating all of the villagers from the Mata Nui Online Game 1 and 2, or Monog if you prefer. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick run through here, show you what I've done, what I've settled on for the build techniques that I'm using on these guys. It's really super simple, but I've had a few people ask me about how to do what I've done here. So this is clearly the original, pretty great, but kind of limited features there. I do like the disc throwing ability, but not much you can do beyond that. So I learned from a YouTube video, and honestly, I don't remember who did it. Otherwise, I would love to give credit for that. But there's a YouTube video I watched on how to make more posable little Matoran guys and try to mimic the original. And these are nice, so you can, get a running pose, arms lifted up. You can make the head move there on a ball joint. And I think the original video I watched had you still use the original heads. I just wanted these transparent pieces in the back, so that's what I did. But that's kind of the original. It's a lot better in a lot of ways, and I think there's even supposed to be a way where you can still use the disc launching feature if you pinch the arm right on the back or something. I don't know. I have not figured that out. So if you've mastered that, that's great. Anyway, yeah, but so this was really nice, and I played around with it for a while. I did kind of have some issues, so I tried to modify it a little bit, and then I came up with this guy who's definitely beefier. And I think I like the proportions on this guy more. Obviously, you lose the original arm style there. But other than that, the functionality works the same, and that's kind of what I was going for. I did like using these guys too, just because you're able to use some extra arm colors that hadn't been provided in the original molds, which huge bummer that Lego didn't use those molds to make more. And I'll go through and show at the end real quick run through on how to make these if you guys don't know. But before that, I'm gonna pop on over to what I've kind of finished doing. So what I've ended up using for my builds is this model. So you can see it's got the transparent eyes, and then it's got the bow rock arms there, which allow for more posability. Honestly, functionally, that's about it. But this is the happiest I've been in terms of like combining the original torso and the arms and stuff. I know it's not going to be what everybody likes, but for me, it's been what I've been happiest with. Yeah, comparatively together, these two look very similar to me. Whereas if you compare this guy, there's a lot more length and a lot less width. I've ended up going with these, and I'm going to show you real quick how to do this because I've had a few people ask that there. So as far as just an example, you take one of these middle pieces here, one of these double-sided joints, and then just put the bow rock arm in there, whatever color you want. And then this guy, I assembled this ahead of time because I tried to do this a minute ago with the camera on, and it was giving me a lot of trouble. So just, speaking of trouble, just take one of those pin axle adapters, put a little spacer on there, and then pop that on there. I'll explain why that spacer is important in a second. But once that's done, just go ahead and put a little 2-length axle in there. Should move this guy out of the way. And then just go ahead and pop that on there. And that's really going to be the base design, kind of a backpack arm attachment, if you will. There's going to be one more step, but I'll show you that here in just a second. So if we're actually changing this guy to the style that I've kind of ended up going with, this piece is really useful. And even if you don't change anything except for the head, that piece is pretty useful because it allows you to put one of the Toa heads on there where you can get the eyes transparent or glowing or lit up, if whatever you want to do there. But I like that a lot better anyway. And then gonna pop the arms off, of course. And then here's kind of that finished product outside of the example I showed you. So a little more color correct on this one. But yeah, you just put those double side, put those pieces on, and then put a finishing piece up top. The reason that's on there is because you can just slide it in, but the ball joints will actually rub against the torso down here if you don't put those spacers in. So it's maybe a little clunky, but I think outside from the side view and the back view, I think it pretty much fits on there pretty well. It doesn't cause too many distractions or anything like that. Where'd I put his mask? And there you go. Yeah, and I mean, I know not everybody's going to be super happy with this design, and that's frankly fine. You know, it's going to be, with Lego and anything, it's going to be what you're happy with, what you want to do. I would discourage destroying Lego or whatever, but, you know, with your design and your builds, it's going to be what you want to do, and you've got to settle for being happy with that. There's not a lot of Lego or leg posability. You can make them sit down, but you've got to put on these little pieces on the bottom there. So nothing super crazy, but it's what I've done. As a quick run through on how to do like this style, it's a little more complicated. It's not too bad though. You take Technic pins that I don't know the names of, Technic pieces that I don't know the names of. Some of these get really tight, but you take just a 1x3 bar, or a 3-length bar, I guess is what that's called. Pop those on there. That's going to be the base for your hips there in a minute. And then you'll take a 3-length, there we go, a 3-length axle here. Pop it through there. You'll need one more of these guys. Pop it on here. And then 2 of these little spacer pieces. And then one of these, at least, I pre-assembled a little bit because I was having some trouble doing this walkthrough earlier. But yeah, just go ahead and pop this guy. So it's just one of those axle to pin connectors and then a normal pin. Pop it on here, and then you'll recreate one of those, rather make a second one of those, which of course is simple. Pop that on here, and then you'll want to get, there's one last step to the torso here. There we go. So you'll want to take one of these just normal joint connectors, slide it down in there, pop the sides on, and that's really the basis for the whole build. At that point, you just attach these little Technic connectors on here. Again, all these Technic things, I don't actually know their names, so Technic is the hardest part for me in terms of finding parts for my models that I'm trying to put together or trying to fix. The Bionicle parts are easy enough, but finding all the Technic pieces I need drives me crazy sometimes. Also, this is driving me crazy. There we go. So I've got the arms, and then you just pop the feet right here, and then the neck and head are simple enough. Looks like I forgot to get a another bar piece, so I'm just gonna show you the one on here. But if we just, yeah, put another 3-length bar on there, just a normal socket. Oops, just a normal socket there. Easy enough to attach the head to, and pop it on. There you go, your own posable little Matoran guy. It is pretty wild. So I've got a few of those. This might be a 4-length bar, but 3 or 4 length bars. It is pretty wild how some of them are really stiff down here, some of them are very loose. So you might have to play around with finding different bars or different ones of these little connectors to make your legs the desired stiffness or looseness for your posability. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and hope this is helpful for you guys in your Bionicle exploring adventures. So have a good one, guys.